Hi everyone, and welcome to UBS Trending. I'm Anthony Pastore. This year has been filled with myriad challenges, seemingly one headline after another. From the geopolitical fallout from the invasion of Ukraine to increased concerns around historical inflation levels and, of course, continued supply chain bottlenecks. So while much of the focus in the U.S. has centered around the Fed's path of interest rate hikes and, of course, market volatility, there has been one group that has been forced to face all of these challenges head on, and that group is business owners. So today I'm joined by James Jack to discuss his team's latest e-magazine. It's called The New Paradigm, and that dives deeper into these challenges and offers insights from both UBS experts and entrepreneurs on how to tackle them. So James, congratulations on the e-mag. It looks really beautiful, and we're going to show it here to our viewers as we go through. But I thought maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the magazine and some of the content that is going to be in there that people can look forward to seeing.
Oh, thanks, Anthony, for having me back, and I appreciate the gravitas of the drama there. This year's magazine, it's called The New Paradigm. It covers really many of the important topics that you just highlighted. And so while there's been a lot written about these complex issues, I feel where our magazine differentiates itself is that it's not just about highlighting these issues, but about offering tangible solutions for business owners and putting them in one place that's really easily digestible. So we've got contributions from some of the smartest subject matter experts at UBS, not that I'm not objective there, as well as stories from amazing entrepreneurs to address the extremely complex set of challenges that can help better position owners for customers, investors, acquirers, employees, and of course their communities.
Right. So James, what I like about it, and I've seen the magazine myself, it does sound like it offers really great insights for business owners, especially in this period of adversity, which of course we are all dealing with, whether you're an average investor, an individual investor, or a business owner. But here's something that's really interesting to me. We have the Investor Sentiment Survey here at UBS. The second quarter version came out in August, and in there it talked about optimism about 12 months ahead. And individual investors were more pessimistic, but interestingly, 75% of business owners said they were either somewhat or very optimistic. So I found that to be about the state of business and the business outlook for the next year. That was really interesting to me. Why do you think that is? What's with the optimism from business owners?
I think it's a great question. It's something that we all kind of saw when we were releasing that report back earlier in the summer. I tend to think that business owners are optimistic people by nature, especially as it pertains to their business. They're putting themselves out there. And so they're confident in their abilities to bet on themselves and see opportunity when others maybe see difficulty. So I talk about this in the magazine, and I gave this anecdote. This last summer, I was really fortunate enough to take some time in Alaska, and I found myself connecting with a lot of business owners throughout my trip. And I met three in particular that I talk about. So one is, it's a family-run seaplane tourism business, of course, in Alaska, facing rising diesel and inflation costs, and they were considering, is now the time to take a loan to purchase a new plane, which would expand their revenue capacity. Another was a family that happened to take, a few tours with, and they recently took over the husband's father's 30-year family bike shop. And they explained the many ups and downs of the global bike supply chain. And finally, actually on my flight to Anchorage, I sat next to an experienced doctor and budding entrepreneur about the prospects of another venture raised in light of the current environment for his business and what that may eventually mean to attract a strategic buyer. So I mentioned these three examples, Anthony, because I think this trip, great trip, but was as a whole a microcosm of the conversations that we are having and our financial advisors are having every day with business owners who are always seeking advice. And that's really who we were thinking about as we put the e-magazine together.
Yeah, and it's great, James, that even on your personal vacation, you were still thinking about the importance of what you do every day and working with our advisors who are working with business owners. Great stories, and thanks for sharing that with us. So look, clearly the magazine, and I've seen it, it offers terrific insights for business owners. What were some of the standouts for you, some of the takeaways that you really felt from the e-mag? By the way, you're featured beautifully in it, as is your team as well here at UBS, but what are some of the takeaways there?
I think there's three key important takeaways that really talk about the issues that we're facing today. So the first is supply chains. We talk a lot about that, and it's really about developing a comprehensive understanding of our business owners' supply chains, and being a lot more deliberate about who our suppliers are. And so we think our owners will be a lot better prepared to in the future to minimize risk and successfully align our company's growth with the supply chain capacity. The second, I'm seeing this more and more now, is the current M&A environment. So much has been made about the market volatility, but private markets have held up actually quite well this year, and private equity firms are still actively fundraising, and they're eventually going to need places to deploy all that freshly raised, what they call dry powder. So I think that's a clear indication for the future about private M&A. And so while the valuation certainly has taken a haircut, business owners should take this opportunity to shore up their balance sheet, ensure that their marketing is telling their true story correctly to a potential buyer or investor, and begin assembling a trusted team of both internal and external experts like your financial advisor, who can help you once we kind of turn the corner to really be prepared if an exit is an option. And lastly, we did a little bit of a follow-up to last year's magazine, which was really sustainability focused. It was called For the Long Run. And so we had the opportunity to check in with Suni Hartford, who's the president of UBS Asset Management and also the head of sustainability and impact for UBS as a whole. And we asked her about the current state of sustainability and ESG as it relates to business owners. And we suggested last year that business owners use sustainability to attract clients, employees, and future investors and buyers. So a year later, with energy now top of mind and all these other challenges, is it still an important focus? So given Suni's focus on sustainability for UBS, we were able to get her thoughts and advice for private business owners.
Terrific. Great work. A lot of work went into putting this e-magazine together, but it's terrific, and I hope that everybody gets a chance to take a look at it, especially those business owners where, again, there are some really good insights in there from you and the team. And make sure to follow UBS on social media. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, plus all of our UBS Trending episodes that we've done here are all available on demand on our website and on the UBS YouTube channel. And as James said, make sure to talk with a financial advisor when you have questions about your portfolio, or especially if you're a business owner, you really need that insight and you want that advice, talk to an FA. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, and remember to keep your eyes on what's trending. Thanks.